me one. Huh? You want in there too? Lila said, you got me in the frame.
Yeah.
You're ham, Lila. You're a hammy dog.
Lila. Look at Lila.
She's so cool.
Let's see. Push this chair back so we can get a picture of Lila. There you go. You're in there, Lila.
Oh my God.
This is great. Because they're going to see this video. They're going to say, there's mom shooting her parrot. They go, what?
The three-ring circus.
All right. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about you. Okay, just. Yes. Your eyesight's still good, I take it?
It is.
Okay. All right. It's my life marker. You're of sound-minded, shitty health.
So. Good health. Good health. It's just this one.
Good health.
One little thing.
All right. Make sure we got the good video. Now, we can do this two ways, Megan. I can sit here and go through and read the questions to you, or you can look at them and talk about each one. There's probably 20.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. It's not that long.
Will you stop?
I promise you, it's less than 20 minutes, 25 questions, but you'll find out. Some of them you'll skip because you don't have any. I can ask them, or you want me to ask them to you, or you want?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll do
I'm
it.
just nervous. So
Okay, I
I
understand.
don't want to stammering on camera and
All right.
not finding the right one.
Trust me, there won't be any. We won't do any photoshopping. You'll be fully dressed in the video too.
You can Photoshop. We'll take a few pounds off and fix some of these bald spots over here.
What is your full name?
Megan Galloway.
No middle
No
name?
middle name.
All right. You have any nicknames?
No. Asshole. Mom.
All right. Your maiden name?
Megan Galloway.
Is your maiden name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Rob.
When were you born?
April 20th, 1983. I'm a 420, baby.
My kind of girl.
From Youngstown, Ohio.
And Youngstown's where you were born? All right. I know a lot of people here in Wilmington from Ohio. What's up? Did you grow up in Ohio?
I did grow up.
Okay.
We did.
All right. And you're currently living here in Wilmington. Okay. Did you move around much when you were growing up, or?
Nope.
Okay.
Pretty much stationary in Youngstown my whole life.
All right.
We had Rob and I had our firstborn, and said this is no place to raise a family, and we threw a dart on the map, and this is where it landed, and this is where we rooted.
Okay. Well, the next thing is favorite place to growing up, but I guess that would be Youngstown, Ohio. Did you go any places or any trips when you were growing up?
We always came to North Carolina. We went to Hatteras almost every year. So.
Oh, sweet. Where'd you go to grade school?
I went to Ellsworth Elementary, a little rural country school with like 60 people in my graduating class.
I went to a Catholic school in Raleigh, North Carolina. The whole school, from first grade through high school, 126 students.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful. That's.
Yeah. Did you have a best friend in grade school?
Her name was Monica.
Monica?
And from first grade on
Yeah.
through high school, we kept in contact. And at one point, it was like 4th or 5th grade, they finally separated us into different classes. And she put her head down on her desk and cried every single day until they moved her into my class.
Oh wow!
Unfortunately, we haven't kept in touch over the past decade or so.
Yeah. Have you've not talked to her?
I haven't talked to her. Okay. She lives in Cary.
Are you on Facebook?
I am. She's not.
Okay.
We just haven't kept in touch.
What was her last name?
Morgan.
Morgan. Okay. Where did you go to high school in Youngstown? What was the name of the high school?
I moved around a bit in high school.
Yeah.
I went to Western Reserve, which is where I went to elementary school, primary school, and then I went to Catholic school for a year. That didn't go over so well. I'm not really a good Catholic school girl. And then I went to Boardman. Boardman High School, which is a big suburban city school.
Okay. Any special memories from that? Anything that sticks out in your mind?
No. Who has good memories from high school? I was bad. I was a bad kid.
I tried to.
I got in trouble.
Okay.
I was a little lost. on the road.
Yeah. How about college? Did you go to college anywhere?
I did. I graduated from Youngstown State University. With a degree in cultural anthropology.
Really?
Yeah. It took me a little longer than the average bear because I got off track a little bit. You know.
Did you have any good friends or anybody special in those years?
I don't think come and they go. You know, you do a lot of growing up in those years, and people fall in line, and you think they're going to be with you through the duration, but
They kind
they're
of
there as you
that's
need.
part of your life, yeah.
As part of your life at that time, and as you grow and evolve, they, you know.
What's your best memory from college? Now, I know you had to have done some things.
I drank a lot in college, so I don't have many memories. I met Rob when I was in college.
Okay.
I met Rob when I was in college, and we were friends for several years prior to being us.
Yeah.
So that's my best memory.
Yeah. After college, did you work anywhere?
After I graduated from college, I had Lou, my first son, a week later.
Timing.
So a good friend of mine came to my graduation to see me walk across the stage, just in hopes that my water would break as I was walking across the stage.
Oh, well, that's a good memory.
Best college memory. I went to Guatemala for a little over a month.
Yeah. What'd you do there?
An archaeological dig.
Okay. Was that fun?
It was amazing. It was the greatest experience of my life. One of them, aside from having kids and a family. Prior to that, and my professor and mentor, I guess through college, is still a good friend of mine.
What's his name?
Matt Omansky. Okay. He's the current chair of the anthropology department, archaeology anthropology department at Youngstown State.
All right.
Beautiful human being.
Well, it seems like he picks out friends, special friends. You know. So that would have been your favorite job, the Guatemala gig, or what was your favorite job after college?
My favorite job. Being a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
I'm currently helping out at Old River Farms in between Rocky Point and Burgaw. Helping out the greenhouses.
Okay.
Planting plants, playing in dirt all day,
Oh,
and it is the most peaceful, therapeutic, it's the greatest job I've ever had outside of the house.
My wife would love you.
It's wonderful. It's just good fresh air, and it's good work.
Okay. Did you ever do any military service?
No.
Or okay.
No.
Any civilian service like Peace Corps or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Spouse's name. What is your Rob's full name?
My boyfriend husband.
Your boyfriend husband.
My not legal boyfriend husband. His name is Robert Allen Lightner Jr.
When did you know he was the one?
It took a while. We were friends for several years, and it took a while. We were both in really different places with different people, and those fell through, and we were left with each other, you know?
When did you know he was the one?
We did a lot of drinking together. So I did it. You know, we did a lot of partying, a lot of drinking together, and we were just really compatible. And it was funny. He was working at Firestone. He was a mechanic, and everybody there thought I was his sister. So I would get like family discount on him working on my car. So then when I was pregnant and we moved in together, he had to change his, he had to explain what was going on to everybody, because he rolled with that I was his sister.
Yeah.
And
everybody thought you were from Kentucky or someplace.
Yeah, so we had a lot of explaining to do after that. But we were friends for several years, and it
Still
wasn't
are,
until
aren't you?
he's my best friend.
Oh, that's a good thing.
But we were friends before we were us, and so we know all the dirt on each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
which is it's not necessarily the best thing to
Yeah,
know
well.
each other's histories and all the trouble that we've both gotten into.
But if you know about that, it's hard to throw it into each other's face, you know.
Surprisingly easy. Remember that one time? You remember that one time?
Yeah, because you. What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Tessa Galloway.
Tessa Galloway.
Yeah. Right. Named Tessa Manchie. And she has no middle name either.
I have your father's name, but do you know what?
We don't really
okay,
care.
that's fine.
We don't care about that
That's
one.
all right. Would you have a stepfather or anything?
No.
Nope. Let's talk about the Chillins. What are their names?
I have Robert Lucius Lightner we call him Lou.
Yeah.
And Tessa Lucille Leitner, we call her Lucy.
All right.
Lou and Lucy.
So the children got Rob's name
And my mom's name.
and your mom's
Mm-hmm.
name. And you chose, I think, to stay Galloway, didn't you? Or did that just happen?
It just kind of happened.
Okay.
You gotta talk to Rob about that one.
I know. On his video, I'll get him to explain. With your son, right now, is there any special time, one memory that always sticks out in your mind and makes you smile or makes you cry or whatever, that besides being born? I mean, is there a special memory?
He's amazing. There's so many. He and I had the opportunity to take a 12-week beginner's fencing class together, and we were the only ones that signed up for the class. So essentially, it was he and I doing one-on-one training for fencing,
Sword fighting.
and it just was such an awesome time with him. It was so fun, and he's continued to fence.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him learn and grow through this. And
How
I hope
old
that
was he when y'all started fencing?
This was only 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah?
So now he's sticking with it. He wants to stick with it, and I go and watch him and watching him learn
Yeah.
and become a little more aggressive in the sport. That's what we're working on now, because he's so kind and he's so laid back that he'll parry, block those sword all day, but he won't go. He won't go for the lunge. It was just really, it was fun.
One of my favorite books is called Psycho-Cybernetics.
Okay.
And there's a story about a guy with a scar. And the whole story leads to about the fencing team in Germany. The original guy with a scar was all upset because he had a scar and thought nobody liked him. And they hated him because of his scar and all this. And he wanted it fixed so he could go back and be himself. Mm-hmm. But when you met a guy, the doctor met a guy from the German fencing team. He had almost the exact same scar. Now the first guy was from a car accident. The guy from the German fencing team was from fencing. And the guys on the German fencing team took it as a badge of honor, that scar. And I always think of that when I hear fencing. I go, get whacked upside the head if you get a good cut, But those guys, they loved having that scar because of that. That's just sort of nice.
It's an incredible sport. If you've never sat and watched like Olympic fencing, I highly recommend it.
I will.
The only thing faster than the tip of a sword in the Olympics is a bullet. It's amazing. It's
Whack.
amazing. So that was a really incredible opportunity for us to both learn this thing together. It's difficult to find activities that you can engage in with your children.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of classes that adults and children can.
Where's he take the class at?
Cape Fear Fencing Association, downtown in the gym at St. Mary's, Tilston.
At the little Catholic church?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So he goes twice a week. And I sit and watch, spectate.
Is he improving other than his aggressiveness?
We're working on that.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
But as far as technique and stuff, is he improving?
Oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah?
He's pretty good. He's getting better and better. He's just got to be a little more aggressive. He's so passive and mild-mannered.
How about your daughter? Any special things?
That girl's wide open. She's
How old is she
brilliant
now?
and smart. She's 5.
5.
She's 5.
She was just a little baby when I first met you.
I know. And it's heartbreaking. 5 has been hard this year. 5 means she's a school-age child now. She's not a little tiny thing. She's ready for school. And she's very musically inclined. So the next step is getting her into piano lessons. In fact, I'm going to go tonight.
Yeah.
She'll listen to a song once, and 2 months later, she'll sing that song. I mean, she just picks up on music and lyrics, and she's very musically inclined. So we're going to hone in on that and see if we can't develop those skills. And
Should be on The Voice.
maybe. I wouldn't put it past her.
That'd be awesome. Let's see. Brothers and sisters, do you have any?
I do.
All right, we'll talk about each
You
one.
want the good or the bad?
Both. You talk about, start with the oldest one. Let's work our way down. Tell me about the person and about your memories of them and what you think about them today, then and today.
Okay. My oldest sister, there's an 18-year gap between us. She's 18 years older than I am.
Mom.
Suzette Darden is her name. And she is my first responder. if you need anything, Suzette is on it.
Suzette?
Suzette. She's on it. But she was my first go-to person when things in my world kind of hit the fan. That's the one person I wanted near me as soon as possible was Suzette. She's organized and she's thorough and she gets things done. She has a get her done kind of personality. She's strong and stoic and bold. She's,
the kind of advocate you need.
She is. She's a little bossy at times, so she knows that, but she's a good woman. She's totally selfless.
Favorite memories with you and Suzette?
That's a really tough one. That's a tough one.
Did y'all ever take a trip together?
We did. We have. We did North Carolina, Hatteras and stuff a few times, and I'm closer in age with her daughters.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of memories there with her daughter, more so with them, because
What are her daughters' names?
She's got Katie and Kayla and Emily, and they're all grown women now. One of which has 3 daughters of her own.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. 3. So, like, you're a great aunt.
I am a great aunt.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm an okay uncle. How about you next?
My brother.
Yeah.
I think there's a 16-year gap between me and him, and Bobby. His name's Robert Banks. Call him Bobby. And he's wonderful. He's just he's sensitive and funny, witty, stubborn. I've never met a human being so stubborn in my entire life.
What would he say about you?
I have no idea. I think it would change on the daily. He calls me Miss Megan because my other sister's name is Michelle, and my mom gets the names. So I've been Miss Megan my whole life. So my brother still calls me Miss Megan, and lately he's been calling me Tom from the Adam Sandler movie, 50 First Dates.
Oh yeah.
And they go into the home. And Tom has like a 5-second memory.
Right.
And he keeps saying, "Hello, I'm Tom. Hi, I'm Tom."
I'm Tom. Hey,
So now I'm known to my brother as Tom. In the most loving manner.
Where does he live?
He lives in Florida.
Okay, where at?
He lives in Florida in Northport.
Okay.
By Port Charlotte.
Right.
And he's just fishing.
You get down to see him
He's a
often?
fisherman. I don't, unfortunately. I would like to, but I haven't been down there since Lou was a tiny little thing.
Well, maybe this summer.
It would be nice.
Next.
Michelle, my sister Michelle. She's only 9 years older than I am.
Mom, slow down.
Yeah. And she lives in South Dakota.
She's still there?
She lives in the frigid tundra of South Dakota. She's still there. Much
busy?
to our dismay and argument to try to get her a little closer to warmer weather, she's in South Dakota.
What does she do there?
She is a special education teacher in the public school system in South Dakota.
Is she married or?
She is married.
Yeah.
She's married. She's got 3 children, one of which is still at home with her. Mallory and Samantha and Anthony. Mallory's the youngest. She's at home. She's a little track star and she's amazing.
Have you been to South Dakota?
Not since she's lived there. When I was a young kid, we went to Sturgis for the bike.
Bike week,
Yeah. But not since my sister's moved out there.
Yeah. Is she a biker?
She's not. She's not. I don't know that she's too fond of them.
Do you got any other brothers or sisters?
No, that's it. The 3.
We talked, and you don't go to church or have any religious affiliations, I guess, or do you? Do you have one you claim for like records or something, or just?
It changes weekly.
Okay.
I like the Unitarian Universalist Church up here. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've been going there for some things about. They're having speakers on every other Tuesday night talking about space travel or some other stuff.
Really?
Yeah, that's weird.
They're weird. But they're welcoming.
Yeah.
They're welcoming of all faiths and opinions and beliefs.
And they're active about it too.
And they're active. They're active about it, yes. And Reverend Cheryl is. If you ever get the opportunity to listen to one of her sermons, that girl's on point.
Yeah.
It's just a come as you are kind of space and about building peace within the community with one another, and we are all human beings, no matter what walk of life, and it's kind of a beautiful thing.
I know a friend of mine, Jeff Johnson. Okay, he goes there with his girlfriend Cindy. When you were in college, were you any for sororities or anything?
I was. I didn't really get kicked out. But
Which one?
I started college when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
It was Zeta Tau Alpha. It was only like a semester that it lasted. But I was too young to be doing some of the things that, the girls were doing. Got in trouble with some of the fraternities. So it didn't last long.
It sounds like it was fun.
It wasn't really my thing.
I can tell by the smile. I can tell by the smile.
I liked the drinking, but they were a little too conservative for my taste at the time.
And your grandfather. Oh wait, here's one. Have you involved in any civic organizations? Have you ever been like I'm in Rotary? Have you ever been in Civitan or anything like that? Okay. All right. How about charitable organizations? Have you worked with any of those?
I tutored in Youngstown for a while with at-risk children in Youngstown, Ohio. I don't know. I feel like I'd have to sit down and really rack my brain because I've done some stuff over here.
But nothing steady like that.
No.
Yeah, okay. Well, in other words, you've been a good person.
I don't know about that. This is making me second guess.
No, what happens is you sound like somebody, if they call you there.
I would hope so.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good thing. A lot of people say they'll be there, but don't show. You mentioned your grandfather. What was his name?
Frank Matchie.
Yeah.
My mother's father.
Tell me about him.
He lived to the old age of 96 years old. And he lived with my mother and I the last 12 years of his life. Which was really fun. Putting it mildly, some days. He was senile at the very end. So it got really difficult. And he was stubborn and sexist and men far superior to women and he was a harsh personality. He was from the really, really old school, just an old stubborn Italian man, and he was hard to take care of, but we took care of him up to his last days. And designated butt wipers. That's what we were.
Hey, people don't realize that there's a lot of work handling with dealing with an old person. There really is. Yeah. And your grandmother, did you know her? Or?
Yes, she lived with us. She passed away, I say she was 77. And she lived there too. Up until they took care of themselves in their own home as long as they could. And then my mom purchased a home. And I was still a teenager when they moved in with us. And so she was there for several years.
What does your mama do?
She is retired from General Motors.
Oh yeah?
She worked in the Lordstown GM plant.
Okay. What did she do there?
She was part of the assembly line.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Back in the day when it was a career.
There was a van plant that she was in for a while, and then she worked in the Cavaliers. She worked in the Cavaliers, and then I think Cobalt is what she retired with.
All right.
Cobalt.
Huh. That's cool. All right, let's go back and talk about your best friend.
Rob?
Well, you said he was your best friend.
He is my best friend. Anybody could put up with me through all these ups and downs. Got to be a good friend, right?
The way I see it, you had his kids, and you didn't even make him give you a name. I'd say he is.
We went back and forth with it for so long, and he just said, why fix what's not broken? And that's okay. It's become okay with me. I was really adamant for a while, like, well, what's wrong with me that you don't want to marry me? But he comes home to me every day. He spends his time off with me, with the kids. Where I can't ask for any more from him. If this is his comfortable space.
When I met you guys, he had the look of shock on his face. Remember, you just recently had found out earlier about your situation with your health, and he was a stand-up guy. I told you that then, and I'll say it again today, because at 30 years old, you're not expecting that kind of stuff. And yeah. So what's Rob do now?
He works for Snap-on Tools. He's
Okay.
in tool sales. He has transcended from working on cars to selling tools to work on cars. So he's in a really good space. He's in a good place right now with that. He finally likes his career and
Awesome.
he's happy with his job. And
Yeah. Do you think he could have found better?
no, he is about the best. And most days I think, what the hell is he doing with me when he's just about the best that there is. And
Oh yeah.
I'm honored to be able to share this life and this space with him, and that he wants to be around me. Sometimes I don't understand why. Most of the time I don't understand why. There's much better out there for,
What would you tell your kids about finding a best friend or a mate? What would you tell them?
Be picky. Be particular. What would I tell them? Oh my gosh, that's a tough question.
Because you and I both know about, we can confuse love with a lot of things. You had a friendship going a long time before there was any love talk and
Yes.
stuff. So
Yes. Spend your life with your best friend. Someone who you can truly call your best friend. Who keeps your secrets and who, honors you and supports you and laughs with you and not at you. Well, sometimes.
Come on. Sometimes you just can't cry, you gotta laugh.
And Rob spends his life working for his family. And he works to make this home that we built for us and for our children just a place of love and peace and happiness, and that is his focus. And he's as good as they come.
Well, what instilled that look for your best friend attitude in you? Who did that for you? I mean, or did you?
Rob did.
Yeah.
Rob did. I made a lot of big mistakes before Rob, and I made a lot of bad choices. And then that one came along and just changed the whole game. It changed my outlook on everything.
Well, that's an amazing thing to say about somebody.
Yeah, I didn't have too many good male models to, to look to or to look up to or to model what,
Might have been
a good relationship should be. Yeah. And then he came along and just blew me out of the water.
I'll bet. He must have.
He's a good guy. He's as good as they come. You're not going to find a better father and a better partner and a better friend.
So you want your kids to find Robs for themselves?
Oh yeah, yes. Lucy better find someone who is just like her daddy.
Yeah. And your son better be like his daddy.
Yes.
I'm sure he will be.
Yes. Treat women with that same respect that.
We tend not to fall far. The fruit tends not to fall far from the trees.
I hope that's the case.
So your son's off to a good start, and so's your daughter. Gosh.
I sure hope so.
All right, let's talk about these critters. Now, you've always had pets, obviously. So.
I have. I've grown up with dogs my whole life. It's gotten a little out of hand lately. The pets in my house.
Do you have any hobbies, Megan? Or did you?
Oh, I do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I know that.
I start a lot of projects that I don't finish.
Yeah,
I've always been creative. I feel like that was plucked with my first surgery. That part of my brain kind of got plucked out with the first craniotomy. So my creativity's been stunted a little bit. But I used to draw when I was younger, and we engage in crafty stuff around the house all the time. I dabbled in some pine needle basketry, and I do a little basic crocheting, and we do a tremendous amount of gardening and.
You have a favorite one, or is there a hobby that you haven't tried yet that you'd like to try?
No, I really, really would have loved to stick with the fencing with my son. So that's kind of still dabbling in that. Yeah. I do yoga. Yeah. I go to Zumba.
Oh, my wife teaches Zumba.
She does.
Out at the rec center out of Carolina.
Fun. Oh, I'll have to catch one of her classes one day. I go to yoga. I do Zumba. I did a 6-week Tai Chi instructional course, which was really great. That was about my favorite. The Tai Chi.
Oh yeah, that's the one where you kind of go into the poses.
It's really slow, deliberate movements, and there's such power and energy there that I was astounded. That's such just slow, kind of in deliberate, intended movements that are Just can generate so much power.
I watch a girl on the beach do that every now and then. And, you know, first time I saw her, she looked a little bit heavy to me, you know. Well, she was heavy. But I saw her out there, and she was doing it the last year. And then this year, she's lost some weight since last year, but her movements are still precise and exactly the way they were. I found that interesting.
It's an incredible experience.
Best memories of your life so far?
This is about as good as it gets. My best memories are right now in my life. It has all finally come together. I have the perfect life. I have the perfect family and the perfect partner. We have created these amazing children that I couldn't be more proud of. And I'm happy here in Wilmington.
Yeah.
This is it. My best memories are right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
What's one thing you've done in your life that makes you blush? Every time you talk about it, if you even talk about it.
This is hard. I think I need some more time to think of these answers. When we're done with this, I'm gonna say, "Oh my gosh, no! Why didn't I include them?"
Well, I tell you what. If you think of some more things, don't worry, Bob. Pick up the phone, and call me. We'll come add it to it. All right.
Okay.
But there's usually a memory that everybody has, and they go, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Oh man.
There's a lot of those blackout drinking nights with Rob. Instead, I was so drunk that I, fell into a snow pile and rolled around in it, and he had to carry me to the car. And those many nights that Rob, retells the stories of having to carry me over his shoulder out of the bar when we were just friends. A lot of those that he'll bring up.
The parties, huh?
Drinking with Rob in our younger days.
Well,
How things have changed since that point.
What would you want Rob to know about what you think about him more than anything? I'm sure you've already told him 100 times. So if you had to tell Rob one thing that was so important to you, what would you tell him?
Oh my goodness. That he's the greatest thing that's ever, my life fell into place when he arrived in it. And he is my soulmate and the love of my life, and I wouldn't trade a minute of it for anything. I'm honored to be in his presence every single day. Wow. It's an honor to be near him and to be with him, to go to bed next to him at night. And he's funny, and he's an asshole. And he's inappropriate, he says the most inappropriate things at the worst times, and he has a hard time expressing himself. But I know that he loves me very much.
Yeah, I know that.
And then I appreciate everything he does every day to keep this family afloat. Yeah. And he's brilliant and he's creative beyond. I wish he would be more sure of himself. He creates these pieces of artwork and doesn't take them seriously, but they could become museum installations in the blink of an eye, and he doesn't take that side of himself as seriously as I wish he would.
Okay.
He's amazing.
And for your son, what would you tell him? Of all the things you have to tell him, and if you had to say in one sentence, blah, 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 what would you say?
Continue to be your authentic self. Because he is so good and so kind. Just mild-mannered and loving. He's a good person, and I'm always amazed that his heart fits into his chest cavity the way it does, because he's just so loving and so good. He's the greatest. He's my firstborn, and he's the greatest thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
And what would you say to that little girl running around here?
That little girl. Lucy she's gonna run the show someday. And that's the same for her. Be your authentic self. Stay true to what you feel is right. Be kind always. Just go with what your heart tells you to do, because that's one little girl that I can trust, that she will follow her heart and do what makes her happy.
Well, that's important. So you just tell her, Lucy, do what you think's best?
Where do I even start? That's a hard one.
I know they're hard.
Taking notes before this. Just stay authentic. Stay true to yourself. Do what makes you happy every day. Find something in this world that's going to make you happy every single day. That you wake up and you're never get sick of doing.
What do you call your kids when you're mad at them?
Little shits. And they know that. They know that. Little shits, little shits.
And what do you call your husband when you're mad at him?
Oh, there's so many choice words for that one.
How about your mom?
Asshole and douchebag.
How about your mom?
Tessa, she lives here with us.
Yeah.
She's here. I couldn't do this at this point in my life without her.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to be an adult and establish your own household and family, and then your mom moves in.
Yeah.
So, and there's some clashing personalities at times, but
That's gotta be hard for Rob.
It's hard for Rob. And they clash. They fight over gardening. They fight over planting. He wants to plant vegetables. She wants to plant flowers. He'll put veggies in her flower boxes. Passive aggressive gardening. That's what they do.
Contact gardening.
They have a pretty good relationship otherwise. Yeah. And I couldn't do this without her. She's a tough mama. A lot of her children and family members don't give her credit for that. But when it really comes down to it, she's a tough woman.
What advice would you give others that are dealing with, say, cancer or health issues? Because you are an incredible model to be.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I
Trust me on this one. I do. You're an incredible young lady. I would fall head over heels in love with you. I hate the fact that you're not going to get to, you've already missed your opportunity to fall in love with older married men. I mean, you've missed it. That was back when you were 30.
Oh my gosh, what would I don't know. See, I don't feel like I'm a good model for anyone else going through this. We all have our own experiences. We all deal with it differently, and get a good therapist. Get a good therapist. There is no shame in therapy. It's a beautiful thing that once a week I get to step away from the people that I'm closest to, who are essentially as submerged in this as I am, and I get to step away and talk to a third party and say, I'm going through this. I'm terrified of this. This is what's bothering me, and it's just a safe space to get it all out and find some peace and restoration, and come back and be the best mom and girlfriend and daughter that I can be in this space. Some self-care. There's nothing wrong with that. Yoga is just this periods of mindfulness and rest and coming to your own sense of peace with things. I'm getting there. It's a process. I didn't do so well. Obviously, I didn't do so well with it at first, and I still struggle every day. But
what about your friends? How do you got friends that you like that you would give advice to, or that you care about, that you want to say something, that have been real supportive of you?
I have some really incredible friends in Wilmington. In all of my life. It's just, we were supposed to be here in Wilmington. The brain tumor, one of the leading brain tumor centers in the world, internationally known, is 3 hours up the road. How funny things fall into play. And since we've moved to Wilmington, I've met some of the greatest humans. My best friends are here.
Who would you call your best friend to?
I have a woman in my life named Savarna. Our children, our boys went to preschool together, and she's stuck with me through this. She's just a beautiful soul, and I love her. Another woman named Kathy. We met, our children went to preschool together, and then she ended up living a couple houses up the street. And our kids are still really great friends. She's just that's another one. Her heart is huge. She's just a good person. She brings a lot of peace to my life. That's the two of them primarily. My friend Heather, I worked at the bakery with her.
Right.
She's ready to have her firstborn child here. She's due on her birthday.
Okay.
So I'm excited to meet him and these people in my life that have become family. They're family. They're more than friends now. They're integrated. There's
DNA has
rooted
nothing
into
to
my
do with
family
family.
now
Yeah.
is my own blood relatives. You know,
I'm a firm believer DNA does not make family.
that's true. That's true.
You're blessed that you've been able to surround yourself with some people that do love you. That is awesome.
Incredible. There's some really.
But you got to
amazing
throw out a
people.
lot of love to get there. That's one of those things that love isn't a one-way thing. So you must be a loving.
Actually, I try. I hope so. This throws a wrench in a lot of things. So there's times when I want to reciprocate that friendship and I want to be there for them a little more and do a little more for them, and it gets difficult sometimes. I've become a little more reclusive lately than I would have been before, and they don't take offense to it.
Any tattoos? Anything you want to show that'll be on video forever?
Any tattoos? I love this one. This was my initial cancer diagnosis tattoo.
Yeah.
It says Invictus.
Invictus.
The poem by William Ernst Henley was the inspiration for that. Yeah. And it's near and dear to my heart.
So if you'd read a lot, you'd been painted from head to toe.
Yes. Yes. I can't wait till my next one.
What are you going to get next?
I'm hoping it comes soon. I wanted to get my knuckles done with my children's names on them. That was the next small one that I was gonna.
When do you do your tats? I mean, I know you got the first one for the cancer.
I know, and I've had two brain surgeries since then, a biopsy and another craniotomy, and I said that every time that this has to happen, I'm going to get a tattoo, and the process has been halted for the time being.
Okay.
So.
Well, hopefully you won't have to have any more tattoos.
No more surgeries, but hopefully, some more reasons for tattoos that aren't as drastic and negative.
Yeah. Megan, we've been sitting here talking, and what we're going to do is if you'd like to talk to the camera for a few minutes by yourself, all I'm going to do when I go home is make sure there's good video, good audio, and then it gets stored, as I've told you before. But if you have some things that you want to make sure the people know, and you'd feel more comfortable just talking to the camera, I'd be happy to step out of the room for a little while.
You don't have to step out of the room.
All right, good.
Like I told you, I love this life, and I'm in love with my life, every single minute of it, and it's because of the people in it and the people that I'm surrounded with every single day. I hope, and I'm going to continue to fight to be here as long as I possibly can, despite what this disease is going to throw at me. I get up happy every single morning, and I'm so fortunate and so blessed, if you will, and lucky, and I'm just surrounded by the greatest people on this planet, I believe. I'm happy every day, and I'm fortunate for every second that I have. And I'm proud of my family, I'm proud of my children, I'm proud to be part of all of this. What an adventure it is. And to my children and Rob, and I'll say this, and I'll really try hard not to cry. My kids are the sweetest, kindest, just most amazing human beings. They're the greatest things that have ever happened to me, and I love them. I love them with my whole being. I love you. And Rob, you are my soulmate, and I love you. I love you three more than anything in this whole world, and you have made this life worth living every minute. I love you.